Welcome back to Tap Tech, the place where we explore the most exciting tech shaping the future. If you thought Apple's first Vision Pro was impressive, wait until you hear what's coming next. The Apple Vision Pro 2 isn't just a small update, it's Apple's bold step toward making spatial computing truly mainstream. When the first Vision Pro launched, it was a statement. It wasn't perfect, but it changed how people think about computers, entertainment, and creativity. Now, with the Vision Pro 2, Apple is looking to refine everything that made the original groundbreaking and fix everything that made it feel out of reach. Let's start with what everyone wants to know: the release window. Most reports suggest that the Apple Vision Pro 2 is expected to launch around late 2025, possibly in October or November, aligning with Apple's usual fall product cycle. That timing makes sense. Apple wants to give the first-generation model enough time in the market while making the second version more accessible and better in every way. And that word, accessible, is key. Because one of the biggest goals of the Vision Pro 2 is to bring the price down while keeping the premium experience intact. The first Vision Pro started at around $3,499, putting it far beyond most consumers' budgets. Apple is reportedly targeting a lower price point this time, possibly between $2,000 and $2,500. Still premium, but far closer to the kind of pricing that could turn this into a true next-generation platform rather than a niche luxury. Now, let's talk about performance, because this is where things get very interesting. The Vision Pro 2 is expected to be powered by the Apple M5 chip, the same next-generation processor rumored for the 2025 iPad Pro and MacBook lineup. This chip is expected to be built on a 2-nanometer architecture, offering significant jumps in performance and power efficiency. What that means for the Vision Pro 2 is smoother multitasking, faster app performance, and even more realistic spatial rendering. The original model already felt incredibly responsive, but the M5 chip could bring down latency even further, making gestures, object interactions, and virtual environments feel completely natural. Another major change will be the displays. Apple is reportedly moving to next-generation micro-OLED panels with higher brightness, better color accuracy, and improved contrast. The resolution per eye could jump even higher, crossing 4K per eye, delivering image quality so sharp it blurs the line between the digital and the real. But visuals are just one part of immersion. The Vision Pro 2 will also focus on comfort and design. The first model, while premium, was heavy for long sessions. This time, Apple is said to be using lighter materials, including carbon fiber elements and a redesigned head strap. The result? A headset that's easier to wear for hours without fatigue. Another expected improvement is in battery design. Instead of relying on an external battery pack with a short runtime, the Vision Pro 2 might introduce an integrated battery with smarter power management. Apple could offer longer battery life, possibly 3 to 4 hours per charge, while keeping the weight balanced. But what makes this next Vision Pro so intriguing isn't just hardware. It's the software. Apple is developing Vision OS 2, the next evolution of its spatial computing platform. Early developer leaks suggest big upgrades to hand tracking, eye tracking, and object recognition. These improvements mean smoother gestures, more precise control, and a more intuitive feel. One big addition being tested internally is multi-user support. That's something the original Vision Pro didn't have. It was tied to a single Apple ID. With the Vision Pro 2, Apple might let multiple users set up their own profiles, making it more suitable for families, studios, or collaborative workspaces. There's also talk of expanded app ecosystems. More developers are embracing Vision OS, bringing apps like Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, Adobe Tools, and even more immersive 3D creative suites into the spatial environment. Apple is pushing the Vision Pro 2 not just as a headset but as a real computer that replaces your monitor, your TV, and maybe even your laptop for certain tasks. And speaking of immersive experiences, the Vision Pro 2 is expected to take entertainment to another level. Imagine watching a movie that fills your entire field of view, with even deeper blacks and Dolby Atmos level audio precision. Apple may also bring new integrations with Apple TV Plus, Arcade, and Music, blending 3D sound, virtual cinema, and interactive environments in ways no other headset can match. Let's talk cameras and sensors, because these are critical to making mixed reality work. The Vision Pro 2 will likely include improved external cameras with faster frame rates and higher resolution, enabling smoother pass-through video. That means less lag when viewing the real world through the headset and more natural blending between real and virtual environments. Apple is also expected to enhance depth sensing and environmental mapping, allowing more realistic placement of digital objects in physical space. For example, if you drop a virtual photo frame onto a real desk, it'll stay there naturally, even if you walk around it. This realism is what Apple calls spatial persistence, and it's becoming a core part of the experience. Another key improvement could be in eye tracking. The Vision Pro already tracks your eyes with impressive accuracy, but Apple might improve response speed and precision, allowing more natural control, especially when typing or navigating apps. Combined with the M5's machine learning cores, the Vision Pro 2 could feel like it reads your intent before you even move. Apple is also rumored to be testing a new controller accessory, designed for users who prefer physical inputs for gaming or design. It's not confirmed, but internal prototypes reportedly feature small handheld devices with haptic feedback, similar to what you get on the Apple Pencil, but designed for spatial interaction. Privacy has always been a big talking point with AR and VR devices. Apple is expected to double down on privacy in Vision Pro 2. The processing of hand gestures, eye tracking, and facial expressions will all continue to happen locally, never uploaded or shared externally. Apple knows that trust is a huge factor if people are going to spend more time wearing a computer on their face. Now, the question everyone has, will it actually feel worth upgrading from the first Vision Pro? The answer depends on how Apple positions it. The Vision Pro 2 isn't about reinventing the idea, it's about refining it to make it more comfortable, more powerful, and more connected. Where the first model introduced spatial computing, the second model will aim to make it something you can actually use every day. Lighter, faster, and more affordable. There's also the ecosystem advantage. The Vision Pro 2 will likely work more seamlessly with other Apple devices. Imagine pulling a 3D model from your iPad Pro M5 straight into your Vision Pro workspace, or editing a video on your MacBook Pro M5 while viewing your timeline in a floating window in 3D space. These are the kinds of integrations Apple is building toward, not just a single product, but a whole new way to work and create across devices. And let's not forget about AI. The M5 chip will bring Apple's most advanced neural engine yet, with over 40 trillion operations per second. This means smarter predictive text in the Air keyboard, more accurate gesture recognition, and even adaptive environments that adjust lighting and contrast based on your focus. The Vision Pro 2 could also make the dream of spatial FaceTime calls even more natural. With improved face scanning and expression mapping, it could make your digital avatar feel even more lifelike. Imagine seeing friends or coworkers as realistic 3D holograms sitting across from you, not cartoonish, but real enough to forget it's digital. This is where Apple is heading, merging digital and physical worlds so seamlessly that you stop thinking about which one you're in. Of course, it won't be for everyone. Even if the price drops, it's still a premium device. But for early adopters, designers, filmmakers, architects, and creative professionals, the Vision Pro 2 could be the most advanced tool ever made for visual storytelling. It's not just another headset. It's a new way of computing, one that doesn't rely on screens or keyboards, but on the most natural inputs we have, our eyes, our hands, and our voice. So when Apple unveils the Vision Pro 2, don't expect a revolution in looks. Expect a revolution in experience. It's about refinement, immersion, and making spatial computing feel invisible. Apple has always built products that change how we interact with technology, and with the Vision Pro 2, they're not just Chang. ING it again. They're redefining it. You've been watching Tap Tech, your home for honest, clear, and in-depth coverage of the latest tech shaping tomorrow. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep exploring the tech that's building the future.